It's funny that it's always the same.
Always what?
Playing with the boys.
Playing with the boys?
Yeah, staying, playing with the boys.
I'm really confused.
Well, after chasing sunsets, one of life's simple joys is playing with the boys. Everyone
I
knows
feel like this is a Sunny reference.
I mean, kind of in a roundabout way.
Is it a song that's in Sunny?
It is a song that's in something. It's Playing with
Okay.
the Boys by Kenny Loggins, and I can't believe you guys haven't used that as like the intro yet.
Oh.
As our licensed theme song for the
Well, you just
for
say
the
it.
miniseries. Playing with the boys. I already forgot what it was.
You just say funny, but it's always the same. Playing with the boys.
Funny,
I think,
but it's always the same with the boys.
Anyways, playing with the boys.
Anyways, playing
Staying,
with the boys.
playing with the boys.
Right. And we are
After chasing sunset.
the boys.
Sorry. We are
Is
the
what
boys.
This show.
No, we're some
is
boys.
about.
We're not the boys. We don't.
We've
have
gained a boy.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
169
Yeah, much like
pounds a boy. Reporting for duty.
much like the boys in the show. We're growing our crew piece by piece. This
Put
week,
together a team.
yeah. This week we're talking season 3, episode 4, Glorious 5-Year Plan. I always hate this because my inclination is to go into a little synopsis, but we don't really do that here because we're just assuming that you've just watched the episode.
Yeah.
And now your first thought is, what do I do right after watching The Boys every week? Oh, yeah. I go watch Boys, or listen to Boys Will Be the Boy, or whatever the fuck this is called.
I need to know the proper opinions and jokes to know.
Playing with the boys.
So
Nick,
Anthony Starr is a confirmed Dud's head, right?
Yep.
Gotta be. There's no way it's a coincidence.
I actually, when that happened, I paused it and went to our episode list, and I wanted to see if I talked about the Blondie song on our episode on a Prophet. But we didn't. But I was genuinely curious, because if we did,
that's insane.
I was going like full blown conspiracy
He's messing
mode.
with us.
Yeah.
It was Soldier Boy that was singing it though, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But he's a producer. Anthony Starr's a producer.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the audience, I'm assuming you've watched it, but I always like to at least try to give context to things. It starts out with Mother's Milk watching, it's like a Soul Train style show.
Yeah, Soldier Boy Tell Him.
Soldier Boy Tell Him. And he does the rap from the Blondie song, Rapture.
Yeah.
Because you guys had texted the group chat about it, and you're like, holy shit. And I'm like, so, spoilers, but you both just watched it, so whatever. I had seen Kimiko's name trending on Twitter.
Oh, so you thought she died, or I mean, maybe
right.
she did, but
it's very much up in the air, but I think she's like a main character of the boys in the comics. Like maybe she does die later in the comics. I don't know that far into the future.
I also wouldn't put it past the show to
kill someone off like that.
Ooh, what a twist.
There's
this isn't how it happens.
There's I mean, they would have to wrap up her shit so quickly.
Yeah.
Although there is kind of that little setup with Frenchie where they're like, "Oh, we'll do this one mission and then we're out."
That's a
and
death
it would
sentence.
be this kind of
it's an
dramatic
immediate death
irony.
sentence.
Yeah.
That's
There
one
is
of the
that.
rules from Scream that they talk
I
about
guess
pretty much.
I figured that she was trending because of the dildo fight, which is a very boys comic book type thing where it's just oh, what's a funny sex thing, and then what's something you can do with it that's gory? Oh, you can just stab people in the eye with a light up starlight dildo.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, if I see someone's name trending on any form of social media, I assume that character is dead. So I was like, it was against my will. I just looked over on the Twitter thing and I saw that name and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be hopefully proven wrong.
Yeah, we'll see.
I would think so. I wouldn't put it past them to kill somebody off, but it doesn't feel like it's the right time or way for it to happen.
I feel like with the Kimiko character, there's far too many like things to tie up with her. Like she's got, I don't know, more lines of dialogue or more trauma to overcome to just kill her off.
Yeah,
basically she deserves a much more epic death, I would say, than just Soldier Boy.
A random.
I could see it being like a Death of Superman type thing where she's dead, but then she ends up coming back, and it serves as motivation for Frenchie and them to like really go after Soldier Boy.
She basically gets Vegeta'd by Cell, but Soldier, because it's like, or is it Trunks? That's Trunks who I'm thinking of. When Cell like obtains his perfect form again, and then he's just like does like a random blast out, and he just kills Trunks like instantly. That's what I thought of. I just think like pacing wise is honestly like my biggest like reason why I don't think, because the way that it ended, it would be really weird if like the next episode they're like, oh yeah, now she's dead. Yeah. Seems so.
Her
it's
last,
like, they left it ambiguous, which that reads to me that there's going to be some sort of conclusion. Maybe she dies in the next one or something happens, but right now,
the dogs are barking. Hold on.
Shut up! My dogs are barking. Get out of here. I think if anything, she'll be out of commission for like an episode or two or something. I think that's what it is. Because obviously, like the reason she's not healing is because of like he's like it's like radiation. That's like the blast that he did or whatever. So I think that's like kind of canceling out her powers in a sense. Or like that's the idea.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think this is actually what it's going to reveal is like a way to kill Homelander. Like, oh, there's something that he did that like weakens superheroes, so that we can harness that and use it against him.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Soldier Boy the secret weapon? Isn't he the like? So do they already know that, or?
No, they were going to look for the weapon that killed him. They didn't think that he was going to be in that tube.
Oh, that's the whole reason they were like investigating him. They just wanted to find out what killed him.
Right. Which to me, it was pretty obvious that he wasn't dead when they showed the scene where he died. It was like nobody ever saw him. He just was like the one chick, Crimson Curtain
Countess.
Crimson Curtains. She was like, oh yeah, he died, and they took him in that helicopter, and it's like, okay.
And if you don't confirm the body, it's.
And also because he's like, he's Captain America, and what happened to Captain America? He mysteriously died, disappeared, and then showed up years later.
So were they? It kind of looked like they were just harnessing all of his superpowers to like experiment or do other shit with him, because it kind of seemed like he was in that tank, and it almost seemed like obviously he couldn't get out, like he was in some sort of semi catatonic state. But I was wondering with like the hamster if the idea is that they were basically sucking like his superhero powers out of him and then like experimenting on other shit. I was very disappointed that there wasn't a Richard Gere joke about the hamster. The way it like burrowed into like the dude's skull.
Yeah.
Well, I hope, because that was one of the things that I was most excited about, because Jamie the hamster is it's not like he serves an important role in the comics, but he's like a big mainstay in the comics. I was like, holy shit, I didn't even think they were gonna bring him in at this point.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not typically a fan of that kind of thing. Like, I don't know.
What? Animals?
Yeah. Especially Nazi dogs.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that kind of like Rocket Raccoon or even like Groot. I think they're really lame characters, but.
So you just mean like I wish I could you mean like Dibbies. Like cutesy characters that don't. Okay. I think you should exclude Rocket Raccoon from that, but the other one's fine.
Okay.
Rocket Raccoon, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 / Infinity War
okay.
Endgame. Like that arc of Rocket Raccoon.
It's pretty good.
Other than that, maybe. Yeah, I love him in those movies.
Because I've only seen the first Guardians movie, like when it came out. I haven't seen really anything other than that.
Yeah, the first one's trash.
Yeah, I really don't like the first one at all. But it's
Everybody
just
else does.
something about the second one. It's really, really good. I feel like to me that the second one is basically what everyone sees in the first one, except everyone else is wrong and I'm right. So, so these aren't really like deeper talking points, but I really love all the real world illusions in the show. So there was like the A-Train energy drink ad that was like, do you know what that was spoofing?
Was it Kendall Jenner?
Kendall Jenner Pepsi ad.
Pepsi
Yes.
And then
Black Lives Matter is my favorite hashtag.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the taco bowls that they had.
I picked up on that too.
Because Homelander even says like the best taco bowls are made right here in Vought Tower or whatever.
There was another Trumpy thing that happened earlier on that.
I mean, there's the whole thing with the news guy, Cameron Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson, conservative talking head.
It was just more of that, like faux populism. Like I'm actually speaking for you. Like he makes a point that's true, but he skews it towards his, I think you said myopic viewpoint in the last episode, and I really like that. So that's, that's kind of like the whole Trump thing. It's just like, you're all being ignored. The elites hate you. Everything is run by, even though he is the elites.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of like the rhetoric. It's that very, faux populist rhetoric of like, yeah, the elites control everything and they hate you and they want you to be in poverty and stupid.
Which is what Stormfront did too, and it, ever since like his birthday party thing, when he would just like, no, I actually am better than all of you. That was like a very distinct like Trump turn. Like, oh, he tells it like it is. He actually went up in the whatever the stats. He's way more popular now.
Yeah,
because he tells it like it is, kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, but he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, same deal.
Speaking of Stormfront, I have my theory is that she's not actually dead. I don't think she actually died. That's another one that we never saw the body. You see her get wheeled out in a bag, and then you see like a bed sheet with like blood on it, a little bit of blood,
right?
And she bites her tongue and it kills her, and I'm like, yeah, but like everything else can't kill her, but supposedly like biting her tongue off can kill her.
I think if that's true and she's still alive, I don't like that.
I've heard of people like doing that, or at least people in other movies or shows doing that. The like biting your tongue off to kill yourself is like, before.
But she's a superhero.
Yeah, but I think you can still drown.
Sorry, scratch that. Reverse it. She's a supervillain.
Yeah. Depending
I
on
just caught you 4K.
I don't know. My kind of thinking is that potentially, like, because I feel like this season is probably going to culminate in some kind of battle against Homelander. They're going to try and kick something off at least. And my theory is that like they're going to be like winning, and then Stormfront's going to come out all like Frankenstein-esque and be like, kind of save the day and level the playing field. That's just my
save the day. You got to watch yourself again.
save the day for Homelander. I mean,
right.
Save the day for the show, because if they kill Homelander, like that's the end of the show, kind of.
That's interesting, because I was surprised that she was alive at all. Like when he like goes to her bed in the first episode of this season, I was like, but why? Like, what's
it's so that she did serve that, like
her death served. I was just gonna say, like, the only purpose she served was to die in without the context of the last season finale, to then kind of spur on Homelander's current, fuck
nihilism.
Yeah.
Her other purpose was to give Homelander hand jobs while she bitched about his life.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Which that's one thing that I don't know. I don't mind this sounds fucked up, but that's The Boys for you, I guess. But there's some of the like sexual stuff that as long as it kind of like advances the character like development, it's fine. If it's played for like a little joke or whatever, that's fine. The gratuitous stuff, I don't really. I just kind of like it pushes me away actually.
Yeah.
But
we
like
talked
there's
about this in one of the previous ones.
Probably. There's the scene in season 2 where it's like when Homelander and Stormfront are starting to like get it, like really start to go at it,
explore
and they stop
each other's
this robber.
bodies.
Yeah.
They what each other's bodies?
Explore each other's bodies. They stop this like robber dude in this alley, and it's like they start to like do like they start like foreplaying before like and like Homelander's like crushing his head. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Like that he needs this now. Like he's at this advanced stage. Yeah. But then there's like I don't know, maybe it'll pay off, but the weird like thing in this episode where it was Ashley.
She's gonna peg the dude.
She's gonna peg the dude with an American flag strap on, which honestly I do love that because like
the imagery of that is pretty good.
It is very like that is something that like hardcore like what is it, like America First people would do, like their Old Navy like American flag shirts and then their Old Navy American flag strap-on dildo that they peg their husbands to. That's funny, but also at the same time, it's like, what's the purpose of that? Just to show that they're like together, they're in cahoots with the media.
I guess
kind of already obvious.
I think maybe it's just that.
Go ahead.
That Ashley is just shallow and soulless, and like they get off on just being the worst type of people ever, aka marketers.
Yeah, she's like she's the quintessential like kid at school who gets bullied who bullies because they get bullied at home or something. You know, like
sure.
Judd Nelson, right? From Breakfast Club.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah, how he's like a bully because he gets cigarettes put on his arm.
Yeah.
Because she uses the exact line that Homelander's like, really like, he's like, Ashley, is your brain being fucked by stupid or something like that? And she uses the same exact line, and it's like,
Well, that's almost what we were talking about on the previous episode with like the Deep using his position of power, as meager as it is. That's like Ashley using her position of power, even though she's, in the grand scheme of things, very low on the totem pole.
Right, it all like trickles down. The corruption and like just being a shitty person just like trickles down to everybody. That's why most of the 7, until Starlight gets there, is like they're all shitty people because they've just starts at the top and goes down, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like economics.
Maybe that's why they like it, because of the trickle down effect. They're like, yeah, I'm in. I don't know why I'm into this, but I am. Go ahead.
I had the thought that like that guy wouldn't have been into the pegging, except like he only was into it because it was branded with an American flag. Like that was what tipped it for him.
Yeah. Because the stars on it were actually like ribbed, so it was like it wasn't just smooth.
And there's 50 of them.
Yeah, there's 50 of them. I can feel all 50 of your stars. Oh, your stripes.
Let's take it easy tonight, babe. Give me the stars and bars.
Yeah. Don't bury it.
Jack would be like.
Don't bury it to the stars. I just want the bars.
Also, after watching Succession, I thought I was done with humiliation fetishes, but I guess not.
Were you gonna say something before I?
Oh, I was just gonna say.
Back into that?
Well, this is either good storytelling or they're listening to our episodes and re-editing on the fly.
Oh,
because in the other episodes we said that there wasn't really much going on with the Nadia Queen Maeve storyline.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
then
Yep.
Lo and behold, there are both of their stories get furthered a little bit.
I thought the exact same thing when Queen Maeve's had her little scene. I was like, oh, here we go. Here she is.
You just mean like individual. I was confused. I thought you were talking about them together, and I was like,
oh,
no,
no.
I missed that. I got you.
And also, because we were kind of talking about like the conflicting, like the side stories with A-Train and the Deep, and then they actually like kind of like have a conflict in this episode too. Like, I wasn't expecting that exactly, but like I thought it was interesting that we kind of focused on those two in particular as well, and how like, you know, at least in my opinion, the Deep story works a lot better than the A-Train story. So just to see them kind of like clash was interesting.
Yeah. I'm liking. I feel like it's been a little bit flat. There's some. It picks back up towards the end of season 2, but there's been like, I've also like binged it. I watched almost all of season 2 on Sunday because I was sick, so I was just like laying there, just like in a haze, watching like the boys, and I don't know. It just kind of felt a little like treading water. Some things would get advanced, but like I like kind of the new directions that have popped up, especially like in this episode with I mean, I guess it kind of culminates in this episode where Butcher has become. He's kind of like one of those pastors at like a Scared Straight camp that like turns out like 10 years later he's been gay the whole time. And he's like, because he like hates soups like so much with a burning passion, and then he gets a little taste of it and he's like, he's like addicted
rules.
now. Yeah, he's like addicted. I really like that, and he's even like, he like realizes it too. When he talks to Huey's like, I need some because I don't feel safe. Homelander almost killed me, and he's like, no, you don't deserve this. This is not fun. It's torture. And I think he really does believe that. I don't think that's some like, I don't think that was like some like butcherism like, I have to remain in control. I think he really thinks that, but he.
It's sort of a masochistic thing, I would say.
Yeah.
Which is
it's
very
like heroin.
funny.
It's like shooting up heroin.
I mean, that's exactly how Huey's acting at the end, and he's like sticking his arm out of the truck, and he's like
out of the truck, and he's just like
Kimiko's like
covered
dying.
in blood.
Kimiko's dying, and he's just like, ooh.
The guy who's so traumatized about hurting like any person, and then he's got his arm covered in blood out the window.
Yeah.
It's just like, hell yeah,
Which
dude.
that's another kind of echoing the comic. Although it is funny because you mentioned it in a couple episodes ago, TJ, that in the first time that they do Compound V, Butcher injects it into Huey without like even asking him. He just does it.
Yeah.
He says, "We're fighting soups. Here you go."
Mm-hmm.
And then he punches
like
a hole through a guy. Yeah, and this time Huey has to sneak it.
Yeah, this is okay. I swear, because I've only read the first like volume. I guess I don't know exactly what that covers.
Was it mine?
I got past. Yes.
Yeah.
It covers like up to the Russia stuff. Like they're in Russia, I think, at the end of it.
It's through the like one of the last things I read was Lil Nina on the plane with that.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin the graphic novels, but
there's a dildo.
There's a dildo, of course, and it's bigger than her, and
Yep.
Yeah. I could have swore at the beginning of the show, like, don't they fight supers or something? And Huey like kicks the shit. He like doesn't he have like Compound V or something?
That's what we were just talking about. He
doesn't have the show.
He doesn't have Compound V, but they kill Translucent, and I think
in the
Huey
show. Sorry.
Doesn't Huey like blow him up?
Yeah, they like.
But I think
they knock him out, and then they put a bomb inside of him.
Right?
No, it's not even that. It was like, maybe I'm just conflating the graphic novel where it seems like they were in like an alleyway or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the
that's
graphic novel. I'm probably like, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Butcher like injects it into him, and then he accidentally punches a hole through a guy.
a superhero.
Yeah.
And that's something that's different because basically that one, because in the comics, Huey, I don't know if he kills anyone else throughout the whole series. Like, he accidentally kills that guy, and basically he's traumatized from it. And like, you'll see, like, he'll have like flashbacks or whatever to that dude because he's so like just horrified by what he did. And then in the show, he's like high, so it's like he doesn't even realize what happened. So they're just like not really concerned about that part of it or whatever. But yeah. Also, Huey has killed at least one other person. Translucent.
Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna bring him back. It's kind of funny because Eric Kripke, one of the like creators of the show, or he might be the creator of the show, he did Supernatural, which also obviously stars Soulja Boy, Jensen Ankles, but
Jankum
another
Ankles.
person, another person that was on that show for a long time was the guy who was like, I think he was running for president in season 2, and I don't know if they're gonna like bring that part of it back. Yeah, it's funny because in Supernatural, his name is Robert Singer, and in this show, his name is Robert Singer. He plays same. He has the same name.
Huh.
Yeah. But it seemed like they really were like the first 2 seasons were very like, oh, are they gonna put him in the military? Are they gonna get the military budget? And now it's like almost completely dropped. It's like, oh, well, they have the. I guess I didn't pick up where that fell. Besides the fact that they have the Federal Bureau of Super.
Federal Bureau
Affairs or whatever.
Superhuman Policing
Affairs.
or is
it's
it A?
FBSA, yeah.
Why do I think it's SP? Okay.
Jim
yeah,
Beaver, that's his name. Okay, the actor.
It's such
Jim
a sick
Beaver.
name, Beaver. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's the gun supplier guy in Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
that's where I recognize him from.
Yeah, he's the. What are you buying?
What are you selling? Meth. I'm selling meth.
Yeah.
Early on in the episode, when Starlight tells Supersonic about the plan to take on Homelander, one note I wrote: Supersonic can't be trusted. I was like, he's gonna betray them in some way. Like something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, I thought so.
And then
too.
at the end of the episode, I was like, never mind.
He actually was good, or at least didn't have time to betray them.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was gonna betray them. I thought it was gonna become like a love triangle thing because he was like, "I'm not into you at all. I'm just doing this because it's the right thing to do." And I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what like an incel would say, like a nice guy would say, like."
Yeah,
I'm just doing this to be a good person.
Because I love you so much.
And then,
Well, I feel like that's perfectly set up, like too. Because, like, the Deep got to kiss Homelander's ass by more Trumpy shit. Just like, well, if you take away the police, you'll look weak. And that appeals to Homelander's narcissism. He's like, oh, good job. So A-Train needs to get back on Homelander's good side. And so he rats on... Supersonic.
Yeah, it's that was a very Trumpy exchange where it was like the guy he wasn't even saying like take away the cops. He was just saying like take away that cop because he's like ritualistically like murdering black people.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, but you'll seem like you're weak on crime." And he's like, "Oh, okay, so if you're black, you're a criminal?" I mean, it's very like, you know, a little bit veiled or secretive like language, but it's also very obvious and in your face that like they're saying what they're saying.
So is the idea with Deep and his wife, is he just like basically under her sway because she's like a PR person and she knows like how to keep him like I'm assuming he's just doing this to basically, you know, be uncanceled and be like popular again?
I think that like that's what it started as, and then he went into the Scientology religion thing, and I think that while he realizes now that it was like there was a lot of bullshit, he took some of the principles of it, and he does like kind of believe, and he did become like slightly better. And, you know, at first he was like, oh, she gives terrible blowjobs, or I forget what he said. She's a terrible lay or something like that.
Yeah,
but she clearly, like, has helped him get back to the 7 and, like, redeem himself in the eyes of Homelander. So
yeah,
I think there is, like, a genuine, like, connection between them, between Deep and his wife.
Right.
He's kind of like... He seems a little bit like the most inconsistent character to me, and the one where you're like, I mean, yeah, he was in like a cult, but at the same time, he was kind of like, oh man, he's kind of like coming around though, and he seems like he's becoming like a better person. Like, is he going to become a good guy?
Well,
and then he just like throws all of that shit like away, and he's like, no, I want to be Homelander's buddy.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna eat Timothy, which I'm sure you were getting off that whole fucking scene. You were just like beating me.
Wow, why I hated that. Oh,
because his name's Timothy, and you have a 4 thing.
Oh yeah,
that was
true.
B.
I forgot about my 4 thing.
How could you forget about that?
Yeah, how could you forget about it?
I mean, I was gonna say that's sort of the thing with cults, is that a lot of them are based on A lot of cults are based. This is a pro-based podcast. This is you got to go to the side series episodes to get our real opinions, where we're telling the truth to you. Yeah. But a lot of cults at their core, you know, are like good advice, like self-help type shit.
Sure,
but then it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, you got to get your life in order. I'm thinking of like the Jordan Peterson shit, like clean your room. It's like that is ostensibly good advice. But then it's like, okay, clean your room, do this. You know, this will do this to help you feel better. And also, your wife is going to have sex with me later. And then you're like, what, hold up?
Yeah. Or like Doc Antle. He's like, hey, tigers are rad, but also come have sex with me, too.
Yeah. It's using that power. And it's like, I feel like in a way it doesn't really work on the Deep, because the Deep is already aware of the game of using your power to leverage over people, so he can't really be leveraged over, because he's like, no, I know what you're doing. Like I do that. Like we're the same. So it's almost like the Deep took some of like the good principles from the cult of like how to apply it to your life and be better, and he's using it to be better at being shittier.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes he's also just like dumb.
Yeah.
Also
like
that.
He's just really dumb.
Yeah. Twoo.
Which I kind of like. Again, though, it's like you have to add the caveat that like he's a really funny goofball who's a rapist. You gotta add. You gotta add that little asterisk there at the end.
Yeah. Like tiny print underneath the. But. Okay. Is that seems good, right?
Anything else? Anything else? Any other?
Hit everything.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Are we done? I'm thinking we're done.
Are we done? I'm thinking we're done.
All right. So yeah, hopefully that means this one will be up on time. I'll try my best. And
I'll. So are you just gonna upload 2 tomorrow then?
I already have all of the videos up. Nick still has to do 3, and then this one.
Which, man, we're done, right? Yeah, we're done.
I can. Bye. I guess.
Yeah, bye. We're telling secrets now.
Yeah.
Yeah.